So today I want to work on putting my tubing bender on the certi-flat welding table. Pretty standardized hole pattern. So what I want to do is try to see if I can make a plate that I can bolt to the tubing bender, but then also with pegs mount down to the table. And then when I don't need it, just undo it from the table and either store it on the bottom, store it somewhere else, wherever I need to. I don't use the tubing bender a lot, so that's why this would be perfect for that situation. Having it dedicated to the engine stand just, again, took up too much space. So let me kind of go through what I wanted to make and then go from there. So this is my tubing bender setup, just to give you an idea of what's going on. Typically the kit comes with this kind of ratcheting lever, and the way that that works is through these, each teeth would slowly bend this back arm so that we can bend your tube. So what I did was, using what's recognizable as a cherry picker or an engine hoist hydraulic cylinder, I made this by modifying the typical ratcheting system. I mounted the hydraulic cylinder here to push the arm. That way it's its own self-contained unit. There's no external forces on it, so it being on wheels, rolling around, all I have to do is hook up an air hose. Right, also it's air over hydraulic. An air hose, and then it would do its own thing. I just need to make sure that it stops at the right angle, and then that's it. Reset it and move on. Right now it's on blocks. What I'm thinking is taking these two bolts and what normally is mounting this angle plate onto here. I'll keep this angle plate mounted here, but I'll take the size or the diameter of this stud or screw, and I'll make a plate to adapt from this to the bolt pattern of the table. And doing that, I can maybe make some pegs to insert between to line everything up. So this is what I came up with. It's a kind of offset of the table and some brackets to basically just lift it up a little higher. And that allows me to capture the two main bolts for the tubing bender, and then that last larger bolt where that angle guide is. I can still mount it at the table, but it also allows me to, obviously, like with the pins and everything else, to like pull it off without any issue. So this just got here, and although I could have cut everything out myself on the CNC plasma, I just didn't believe that I could get the tolerances right, especially since it's a plasma, not a laser, and that's what all this stuff is made from. It was just a lot easier just to send this stuff out. So, oh, was it two of these? Oh, I guess I ordered too much of one part. This is what we're looking at. So, let's get this cut open. So yeah, this one went through send, cut, send, because they have a laser cutter as well as a CNC bender, and this will sit just like that. I did not mean to order two of those pieces, but it's okay. I'll make it work. If we grab this one, actually, you know what? I'll bring everything up here. And oh yeah, I already went ahead and welded these pins to these clamps. And I'll show you how that all works together here in a second. There's one. Oh wait. Okay. This is the 1.5 inch die. These two. So this is what we're looking at. These pins will clamp somewhere like this and hold that stuff down. Just like that. And then we'll kind of arrange them however they need to go. I mean, whatever works. There's no limitation on what that needs to do. Same thing back here. We'll put these pins down. Let me go ahead and make some pins for this, and then try to get this all squared and lined up, and then fully assemble everything on here, so that way I can just kind of leave this as a kit. So I made 4 of these little pins on the lathe just to press them into the outsides here, and then we'll get them lined up and then tack welded in, or actually TIG welded on, and then try to get them to line up with the table here. And then we'll do a kind of a quick assembly of the tubing bender on top of the platform, or the spacers, and then go from there. So I got everything welded. One thing I didn't intend for the design was when I made those pins super long, that the alignment on them weren't perfect. So having to actually remove this took a lot of effort. So I ended up shortening them down to stubs, which work a lot better because it now allows me to line it up. And with this, although I still have to do a little bit of effort to pull them up, it's a little bit happier. And plus, what's going to keep them down is these clamps anyways. So now that this thing is fully assembled, we got this part, which is just a standoff to support this. This is what aligns it to the table, and we should just drop right down. There we go. And yep, that's good there. Set up this. And these guys. There. I still have to mount the air over hydraulic cylinder to push this part. Maybe that might be a project for another day. However, it still does work. So that's pretty much it there. And yeah, I think that came out pretty well. So now that the JD Square tubing bender is mounted to the certi-flat table, the reason for this was also so that way I can build a cage in the RX-8. But other than that, that's pretty much the project of mounting this to the table. The next thing we're going to do is work on mounting the seats, because we need to make sure that the harness bar is set in the right position. But yeah.